Hello there and welcome to the Mobile Academy. And if you want to become a job ready Flutter developer, make sure to check out the courses on my website mobileacademy.io. Here you will find all of the courses related to the Flutter development. You will find the professional course as well as the basic course related to the Flutter. You can also find some of the free courses over here if you want to just go and try it out, or if you are just a beginner on the Flutter and then the React Native, you can also find the free course over here. And if you would like to be a full stack developer, we also have the course related to the full stack developer, related to the Node.js, Express, MongoDB, as well as the Flutter over here. And if you would like to join the Flutter bootcamp, there is also a bootcamp course over here. So make sure to go and check out the course over here. There are free and then the paid course. And if you want to be a job ready Flutter developer, this is the course that you want to take. So see you guys on the next lesson. Till then, have a great day.
Yeah, hello there and welcome back, and let us continue with our lesson over here. And this is the Flutter clean architecture with the Riverpod project over here. We will be building a Flutter application using the clean architecture with the Flutter Riverpod over here. And this is not a beginner course, so if you are a complete beginner, or if you are not familiar with the Flutter as well as the Riverpod over here, then this course is not for you. So this is really not a beginner friendly course, and if you want to learn some basic concept, make sure to go and check out my other courses over here, and you should be good to go with that one. But for this particular course, it is required to have some Flutter development experience, maybe a 6 months, 1 year, or even more than that would be good. And also the Riverpod, or the knowledge of the Riverpod is required. And if you are not sure about how to use the Flutter Riverpod, make sure to go and check out my course on that one. I have a full course regarding the Flutter Riverpod as well. And that's just the thing that you have to know about this. That is the prerequisite for this particular course. So let us get started, and welcome to the Flutter clean architecture course with the Flutter Riverpod. So let's meet up in the next one. Till then, have a great day.
Let us continue with our lesson over here, and in this particular lesson let us try to go and see how we can handle the error. And if you can remember, previously we haven't done any kind of the error handling over here. Let us get started with the repository layer over here. Let's go to the repository, and in the repository you will see that we don't have any error over here. So we are just throwing the error particularly. So what we will do over here is we are going to handle that particular error properly. So let's try to do it in a much cleaner way. So for that, I'll go to the common over here, and I'll create the new folder over here, and probably I'll call this one as exception over here. And in this particular exception, I'm going to create a new file, and let's just call this one as a error, or let's call this one as a failure, failure, failure.the file. And what we'll do over here is we'll create the class of the failure over here, and I guess let's make use of the Riverpod, not the Riverpod, sorry, let's make use of the freeze annotation over here. And that will be, I'll be using the underscore the dollar sign over here, and that will be of the failure over here, and that is going to implement the exception over here. And once we got that, let's just go and annotate this one with the add the phrase over here. And what we need to do is we need to go and import that particular class that will be of the phrase over here. And that should be okay. So it's not the phrase dot the dot, it should be dot only, phrase annotation, and then the phrase annotation dot. So that should be good enough. And remember to add the part file, otherwise it's not going to generate that particular file for us. So failure dot the phrase dot the dot file.
And let's create the const of the factory constructor. So factory factory constructor over here. And what we require here is the string of the type each of the message over here. And I'll also require the not the require, but let's say int, and then this will be of the status code over here. Status code, it can be of the null, right? You can just pass in like 404, 401 and all of those stuff over here, and also the exception over here, and that will be of the nullable type as well. And finally we will have the stack trace over here. It can be of the null, or what we can do for this is add the default over here, DEFAU. Okay, so D, not the DA, DEF default over here, and then the stack trace that we have. So stack trace dot the empty, I'm just going to create that, and I can remove the nullable type from here. And what we'll do over here, let's just go and generate this particular class equals to underscore the failure over here. And now what we can do is we'll just go and run the flutter pub run, and then the build runner build dash d. So let's just go and generate that particular class over here. Okay, so the class has been generated. We are good with this. So let's just go and create the one more folder over here, and I'll just call this one as a mixin over here, and I'll create a new mixin over here. And let's just go and generate or create the new file, and let's just call this one as the do underscore the exception over here, and that will be of the exception. I'll call it as mapper dot the dot file, the exception mapper, and it will be of the mixi. Okay, so mi mixin over here, and mixin will be of the do exception mapper over here. And let's create the return type will be of the failure, and I'll just call this one. Okay, so map. Okay, so let's just go and not autocomplete. First of all, let's create the return type is of the failure, the class that we just created, and then the name will be of the function name will be a map do exception to, I guess we'll call this one as a failure. So map do exception to failure, and here we are going to pass in not the object, so let's just pass in the do exception. That is what we are going to get from the, so let's just call this one as a e or error or something depending on your requirement. And also the not the state, so stack trace over here, we also require the stack trace over here. And now what we'll do over here is make use of the switch condition over here, and the condition will be of the the type. So we got the do exception type over here, and now we can match this one over here. So if the case each of the connection time out over here. Okay, so we got a lot of the auto completion over here, so why not we just go and auto complete this. And one is of the okay, so first one is the connection timeout over here. So if there is a connection timeout, what we want to do is let's just go and return the failure class that we have over here. So let me just try to arrange this one over here. Okay, and the message will be of our, let's just give a custom message over here that will be of the connection timeout with the API server. And also you can just go and say the please, maybe it's the please try again later over here. And what we can also do is the hard coded over here. So this is coming from the common, so we later if you want to translate it to a different language, it will be also much more easier. And we'll just make it as the add the hard coded over here, so easy for you to replace it or find it throughout your project. And exception will be of the e as well, and then stack trace will be of the stack trace as well. and I'll just copy the whole thing from here, and let's just go and paste it over below over here. And okay, so I need to copy actually this, so let me just copy this and let me just go and paste it below over here. And this will be of the send timeout. So if there was an error about this and sending the request to the server, so the connection timeout, and I'll just go and set the send timeout with the API server, or you can just give any message over here depending on your requirement. And I'll just go and please try again, or I'll just replace this one with something else like the check your network, check your internet connection, or check your network, and try again. Right, so we'll just add that one over there. So let's just go and do the same thing over here, receive timeout over here. Let me just copy this one, and I'll just copy this, and I'll just go and paste it below over here. So this is now the send timeout, so this will be of the we receive the timeout over here with the API. So check your internet connection and try again later. So that's good. So bad certificate, so if you have some kind of the bad certificate, then I'll just go and you can probably handle much of the error that the DO is actually catching. So depending on your requirement, you can modify that one. And here I'm just going to replace that, or I'll just go and replace this particular message over here. So I'll just go and say the bad certificate API server, check your internet connection, or I'll just go and say please try again later. Please try again later. So that should be fine. And this is of the bad response from the server. And let's just go to here, and let's just go and replace with our, so let's just go and say this is okay, so let's just go and replace all of this first of all, then we'll just come back over here and we'll try to format that, or let's try to replace the message. Okay, so and then finally this is the default one. So in the default one, I'll just go and put it as well over here. Let's just go and remove this one over here. Let's just go and say this is of the unexpected error over here. So unexpected error, and I'll just say occurred over here, and this will be of the type unknown, and I'll just go and replace the same thing, unknown error, like unknown error occurred, and I'll just go and say the please try again later. That should be fine. And then the connection error over here, and I'll just go and replace this one with the same thing. So I'll just say the connection error with the API server, please try again later over here. And that should be, I guess, good enough over here. And I guess for this particular message exception cancel, I'll just go and say that if you cancel the request, we'll just go to request API server was cancelled. Request to the API server was cancelled. So sometimes you may just go and cancel the API request. That's possible with the DO, right? So if you navigate from one screen to the another screen, you may just want to cancel that particular request. So we'll just put it over here. And in the bad response, I guess this what we can do actually is, let's go down over here, create the class, and let's go call this one from the get the message, get the error message. I guess that should be fine. And I guess we are going to make get the error message for, I guess, the for the status code over here, and we'll just pass in the type will be of the int nullable type, and then the status code over here. Checking that particular status code, we are going to return the type over here. So status code is of the 400 bad request, 401 unauthorized, 403 we are forbidden,
and I'll just go and set the 404 not found, 500 internet server error, 503 service unavailable, default is unknown error. And you can also go and check for our HTTP status code, and this is the refresh token expired 498, so we'll also add that one over here, which will be of the 4 cases of the 498. So case will be of the 498, right? So that is what we have. Sorry for that, I just copied the wrong one. So 498, right? So that is what we have. Refresh token is expired over here. And the bad request, I'll just go and say that the please try again later, unauthorized. I'll just do the same thing, please try again later, forbidden. Let's just give us as a simple message, so later you can actually go and change this one as well. And please try again later, refresh token expired, and you can just give please try again later. It's not, I guess, the perfect one, but you can obviously go and improve this particular error message over here. And also I'll just make this one as the hard coded as well. So let's just go and copy this one from here, and I'll just paste it. No, sorry for that, I did it wrongly. I just need to copy this, and I just need to paste it over here, 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 and here, and finally over here. And now the status message that we have, we can actually go and make use with the bad response over here. So in the bad response, this is actually the bad response is for the status code that we are actually receiving from the server. And let's just go, and that is not okay. So let's just go and remove this particular message from here for not the okay. So this should be on the bad response over here. Let's just go and remove, and we'll just make it get the error message for the status code. And the status code that we need to pass in is the e dot the response. I guess we'll have the response object dot the status code over here. So let's just go and pass that one. So now we have the mixin as well. This mixin is actually ready to be used, right? So now we have the mixin, and we also have the failure class over here. And finally, I think that we are ready to go and put this one together in our feature, which is of the, let's do with the login over here. And let's go to the data over here, and let's go to the repository. And in the repository now we can make use of that particular mixin over here, which is of the width, and we have the do exception. I guess we have the do exception. Where was that? Do exception mapper, right? So do exception mapper, I guess this is the one. So once we got that, and here on the do exception, what we are going to do, instead of just rethrowing it, I'll just go and say the throw the error that we have. So map to the map do exception to the failure, and we are going to pass in the exception and then the extractor. So currently we don't have that, so let's pass in the exception and then the extract trace over here as well. And then the if that is not the case, just there is some error over here, we'll just go and cast the e as well as the s, or the I'll just go and say this is a except e and then the s as well, so it will be much more shorthand especially. So e and then the s over here as well. And here we are going to throw a custom failure over here, and then the let's just go and try to arrange this one properly over here. And let me just go and close this one over here. So the message will be of the something like the unexpected error occurred, please try again. And let's just go and import that particular hard coded over here as well. And here we are going to say the e exception that we need to pass is the E as the type each of the exception, and then the stack trace that we basically have is the S over here. And let's just go and close all of this. So now it's pretty good over here. So now we don't have to write all of the lengthy error handling over here in each of our class. That is maintained centrally in our the mixin over here, right? So if you go to our common, and in the mixin we have centralized that particular error handling for the DO exception. That's pretty cool over here, right? If you have to do it manually over here, you have to write all of this code every time that you have to create this particular repository. So now what we can do is basically just copy all of this particular code from here, and we will go back to our home I case, or let's go to the sign up first of all. And in the sign up repository, let's just go and provide that one over here. Just go and paste it over here, and we just need to import this particular code over here. And we also need to, okay, so we need to make this one with the, so let's just go and set the width, and this will be of the DO exception mapper, and just go and import that over here. And that's pretty cool. So now we just need to import the hard coded over here, and this is basically pretty good for our repository layer. And now next is that we still need to do it for our error handling in our service layer, because we have the repository as well as the service over there. So what I will do over here, I'll just go and implement the same concept in all of my repository over here. So let's just go and provide that. Sorry, let's just go and provide that. And what I need to do is I need to go and make use the width over here, and then the DO exception mapper. Let's go and import that, and DO exception I also need to import it from DO, and then the failure as well over here, and we need to import the hard coded as well. So that's for the forgot password. And now I guess we have the home, and okay, so in the home we don't have any of the API connection, and I guess here we still have, so this is not the, okay, so this is just for the local storage, not the API connection. So I guess that's all for this particular lesson. So now we have a pretty good error handling that is centrally managed in our mixin over here. And you may try, there are different ways of doing the same concept or same thing. So you just need to see which one is more suitable for you, your team, or your particularly your project over here. And basically I'm using this concept in my application, and it works pretty well for all of my project over here. It doesn't mean that I'm using over here and you have to use it in your application as well, but it depends on you, your team, and then the project. So you need to decide which one is better for you and which one you should implement. So that's all for this particular lesson, and we will meet up in the next one. Till then, have a great day.